back to another episode of Outcasts 2 Icons. If you've enjoyed the save up to this point, drop a like on the video. That would be tremendous. So, starting on the page of Timon Overmars, just what a man. 50 goals in all competitions this season from the guy in 46 and 1 substitute appearance. It's a pretty good return, really. It's utterly outrageous. You can sort of see how once the season really kicked in, he was fantastic for the first sort of 4 or 5 months of the season. Then he had that little blip, but in the last sort of 15 games, he's absolutely flown back into form and has really just picked up where he left off. Now, originally my plan was to do the Empoli game off camera and come back for the final 2, but I figured that since it's literally going to be our final games in, well, not our final games, our final league games in charge of Sassuolo, then I figured that we'd do all 3 of them as a triple live comp special to see if Timon Overmars can get the Serie A record. He needs 1 goal in his next 3 league games to steal it off of Gonzalo Higuain, and 4 goals to potentially reach the fabled 40-goal league mark, which would be truly outrageous. And honestly, with the fixtures available, this guy can score against anybody. You just never know. Also, at the end of the episode, we're going to take a little look at some of the major leagues around Europe, as well as we always do, but this time with an eye to potential moves should we then lose the Champions League final tomorrow, because that's what we will be forced to do, of course. It's win or bust in that game. In fact, it's bust or bust in many ways, I suppose. But the win, and we've got the success. If we lose, we're out of Sassuolo, and we find ourselves looking for another job to rebuild ourselves on Outcast to Icons, and I'm not really sure what jobs are still available, honestly. So, no point in beating around the bush here. We've got a buttload of games to get through today. Still can't believe he's only got 3 caps for the Netherlands. Like, you'd think he'd be getting a few more caps by now. It's kind of like the Baris Aslan situation, where he still only has 1 cap for England, despite having over 150 goals in Serie A in like 5 years. So, Empoli away to start with. I think this is his best chance to get that goal, really. We've got Benevento at home next, who are a decent side, as you see, are in the Europa Conference League spot right now. And then obviously we finish off against Juventus, which won't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it will be a difficult game, and I wouldn't be surprised if we lost it. Particularly with a bit of tiredness obviously creeping on. Now, Lancer is suspended as well. Lots of shuffling required here. Obviously, we are going to go with Overmars through the middle, because we really have to. Siggy, though, I'll start him on the right-hand side today. Bit nice to see Siggy back in the team. Rivas on the left, totally fine with that. Defensively, all good. Komi Eklu, though, will come back into the midfield. Oh, surely Steph Cassels can get through 1 more game, or can he? Yeah, he do be a bit knackered. Yeah, I'm tempted to go with Granados for today, and that's going to be our lineup. Hopefully, with that lineup, although I might still have Steffi on the bench, just in case. Then again, if I'm putting him on the bench, that implies I'm going to play him, so I think I'd rather have Quarto on there. Rest out Steph, bring him back for Benevento. There should hopefully still be enough service in this team, particularly with Augusto Rivas, to provide those chances. Well, that's certainly my hope anyway. Right then, here we go. 1 of 3. Let's crack it. Any points we gain here would also allow us to set our record points tally, but I want to go for the full hog. I want to go 98 points this season, if we can do. And that would involve beating Juve, so I'd settle for, I don't know, what's 95 points. Maybe a point against Juve. I don't know why I'm saying that. They're clearly worse than us. They finished 14 points behind. Like, get with the program, boys. I also want to see if we can get to a plus 90 goal difference. It kind of feels for me like a lot of the stuff we put in and the work we put in last season, laying the groundwork, was for this year. We were sort of building the foundations, making the side look a little bit like this, but it felt like this year all the jigsaw pieces just sort of fell into place. Now, obviously, that won't matter if we don't win the Champions League at the end of it, but I'll tell you what, from a league campaign standpoint, it has been basically flawless. I mean, we've lost a few games, but that happens. It's just, in the games we've won, we've been absolutely dominant. So damn good. Granados, Pavlich. Oh, imagine if he got the goal really, really early in this game. We could all just relax a little bit. Di Giacomo. Oh, look at the space. Fires it in. It's Rivas with an absolutely wonderful strike, and it's his 5th goal of the year, and it's 1-0 to us inside 5 minutes. And Augusto Rivas, who really has had a fantastic second half of the season, despite a few sort of blips in there too, almost dragged us through the Atletico game a little bit, not single-handedly, but he really got us going in there. Di Giacomo as well, I think, has been a revelation this year. What a strike, though. The pivot on that to just hammer that one home, and, well, early goal, very, very good. That is exactly what we wanted. Eklu, Uriarte, and it's hit the crossbar. Okay, come on. Oh, that's a shocker. Caligari has just absolutely murdered Di Giacomo. Well, I mean, okay. Okay. Empoli down to 10 men after 18 minutes and also behind. If Timon Overmars doesn't manage to score in this game, I swear to God. In acres of space now. Eklu. Pavlich. Bodies all over the place here. Oh, nice work. Building it up quite through the middle, and it's Overmars' shot is brilliantly saved by Gaspari. This could be a long day for Empoli. Pops it out for Di Giacomo as well. Edge of the box for Granados. Round the side for Siggy Jonsson on the end of it, and it's 2-0 after 23 minutes. 2nd goal of the year for Siggy this time. We are at least looking like we're going to absolutely embarrass Empoli here, potentially. This feels like one of these games that could potentially get away from them and we could be looking at 6 or 7. I would quite like that, really. It'd be the ultimate sort of way to finish. Lovely ball through from Granados. Siggy back in the team, back on the goals. It's a shame Lanza's not in here. He could have absolutely cleaned up. I find sometimes in these types of games, Overmars will not be doing much, and then in the second half, he'll come out of nowhere and just score a hat-trick. He's done that, I think, twice this season, in games that were already completely dead. He's just woken up. Round the side for Overmars. Lovely touch. Pulls it back for Rivas. Oh my goodness, we are toying with them now. Mihelchea, Granados, Eklu, Overmars comes back through, cleared away. Rivas again and well saved. Well, despite our sheer domination, we actually haven't really been able to make it count that much just yet. We have actually been supremely disappointing since they went down to 10 men. I was expecting more. Maybe I shouldn't have changed things. I have now changed a few things back almost, just to try to get that flow back. Maybe I just upset the balance of the tactic a little bit. Rivas is now inside. Good strike, and Overmars is on the end of it again. And he's been... Whoa, that was tight. Loads and loads of room out on this left-hand side as well with Bruna and Rivas now. I have to bring on Jan Bruna because Di Giacomo's getting a little bit knackered. Milivojev, Siggy Jonsson, Overmars! Good save. Oh, and he's got his head in his hands because he knows that was the chance. Tons of space on the pitch. We just need to find the right balls. Oh, Rivas again. Brilliant work from the lad. Can he find a cross, though? He whips it in, and it's Siggy Jonsson's header and well saved. Granados, nice build-up, but Overmars is the man too deep here. Siggy Jonsson goes for it, and it's tipped over. And Rivas has picked up a knock as well, which is even worse. It's just, I mean, we've had a good game. We've won comfortably. I think that we should be doing more than that, though, against 10 men. I do find that sometimes that can happen. And we still had the 14 shots on target, and their goalkeeper did make 12 saves. But this is one of those days where I mean, how many chances did Overmars even really have? I mean, he did have some. But, yeah. Well, we go to 92 points, 12 points clear of Napoli now. Only the 2-0 win here. Disappointed in that, if I'm honest. But nevertheless, he's still got some more games to do it. Back in a sec for Benevento. That has to be the one, surely. Okay then, so, Benevento today. Now, we actually picked up a few injuries. Obviously, Rivas was injured right at the end of the last game, and he will miss today's game. We'll be back for the Juventus game. Both Overmars and Granados picked up training injuries. Thankfully, both of them, I think certainly Overmars will be back and available for today. It was only like a 1 to 2 day injury. It was right at the start of the week. He has lost a tiny bit of match sharpness, but hopefully not enough to cause a problem in today's game against Benevento, because we need him to score. So, changes definitely on the cards here. So yeah, Gregory will come in, Eklu will come in there, Lancer's also back. I mean, the squad has only got better for me, really, in this period. I'm also going to start Niewiadomski over Pavlic for today's game to bring him back into the fold as well. So, arguably, actually, it's a stronger lineup than it was last time because we've got Cassels, Gregory, Lancer back in, Niewiadomski's back in. It's a very, very strong team. And I'm extremely excited about today. We have to find a chance for Overmars to get that goal, surely. It is his destiny. So yeah, that's going to be our lineup. Let's go and hope for the best. Particularly as we're at home, we've got about as strong a lineup out there as possible. We are just winning games hand over fist in all competitions at the moment, just barreling through teams. And hey, winning out for the rest of the season would be very helpful, just as far as going into that final game of the year and everything against Real Madrid with the best possible form. But today, it's really about trying to see if Overmars can get that goal. I'm very tempted to get a Sassuolo shirt with Overmars 22 on the back, honestly. If he gets to if he gets the goal scoring record, I will absolutely do that. I mean, he's already banged 50 goals this season in all comps as well, and he's still got room to get more of those, incredibly. But it's just about getting that. I want him to get that Serie A goal scoring record off of Higuain. He's had the season that deserves it, and I really hope he can just go one step further today and get the record. Gregory pulls it across for Eklu, and it's a great stop, I think. Yes, Bedoya, great save. Can he deliver some magic? Goes back for Niewiadomski, who's pulled very far forward, whips it through, and Lancer's header over the bar. Back to Mihelchea. Got bodies around him, though, but Eklu could definitely find something here, and he's gone past his man. Can he whip it? He finds Lancer! Good save, and cleared away. It's going to be a corner. Well, so far so good for us, really. I mean, we haven't scored yet, but Benevento haven't had a shot, and we've definitely fashioned a few little openings, but nothing really clear-cut for Overmars just yet, though. Big tackle there. Gregory's got it. Can he slip it through, baby? Cassels. Can he find the pass? He's found Lancer. Great first touch. Great strike, and Bedoya saves it again. Certainly not been the finest first half you'll ever see from us. We've done brilliantly defensively and have created a fair amount going forward, just failed to find the back of the net. But Overmars is looking rather poor, and I'm really hoping he's not about to go into a slump at the worst possible time of the season, because he did go through a little lax spell at one point, and I really hope that he's not about to do that again. Lovely build-up in the midfield. Just need to release a pass from now that we've got this opportunity. Cassels over the top for Overmars. Here's the shot. Overmars with the goal. Sassuolo 1, Benevento 0, and there it is. 37 goals in a single Serie A season for Tymon Overmars. Record breaker. He's done nothing in this game, really, but we just started building it up really nicely in the midfield. Cassels finally looks up. Overmars makes the run. Doesn't even need a first touch on that left foot. Drills it near post, and it's Sassuolo 1, Benevento 0, and he points to his shirt, the shirt that I will soon have. Oh, what a relief. 51 goals this season for Timon Overmars, 37 of which have come in Serie A. What a god of a player. He's surely up there now with the likes of Marcelo Di Placido and Norman Millington as far as that's all. Now he's finding the form and the quality. It feels like his eyes have now lit up again. He feels like, I don't know, he's just getting into positions, he's popping that ball about now. Amazing what a tiny little bit of confidence and a single goal can do for a man. Gregory now, Cassels, Brunner out on the left-hand side now. Back for Cassels, back for Brunner, and it's a brilliant strike. Jan Brunner has played somewhat second fiddle to Alberto Di Giacomo this season. He has, but he's done it with absolute professionalism, and I think he deserves that goal more than any. Well, not more than any, but certainly up there for me. It's lovely to see him grabbing himself another goal, and he can do that. We've seen him do it before. Gregory, unselfish, and this is a pinger of a strike from Brunner at the near post. Now it's 2-0. Now we can start the party. Come on. That plus 90 goal difference is looking on the cards. Cassels this ball through. It's all the way through, and it's cleared. I think it was Nevedomski that touched it. And hello, chance here potentially as well. Overmars, around the side. It's actually Sigurd Jonsson. He'll get the shot away, and a good save. Whips it through for Jan Brunner again. Go on, Jan. Oh, he's fancying one tonight. Well, he's already got one. And that looks like it's going to do it. Sassuolo 2, Benevento 0. Back-to-back pair of 2-0s just to sort of see things out there. Overmars still hasn't actually even had the best game, but he did get in there when he needed to and found the back of the net. And that's really all that matters. He's going to be a record breaker. And it's 2-0 to Sassuolo, and they can present him with his commemorative shirt. Ah, lovely old job there. He does end up getting a 7 in the end. That goal in the 52nd minute is still a game winner. That's what he does. And then Jan Brunner, of all people, of course, in the 69th minute. Nice. 2-0 Sassuolo. We keep the trainer rolling. Right, final league game of the season against Juventus, our final ever league game in charge of Sassuolo. Can he go one better and get 38? You never know. Right then, we're back. First thing, elephant in the room. I'm wearing a different t-shirt. So basically... the moment I stopped recording, I swung round to grab my drink, picked it up, dropped it all over my lap. So that's good. I say lap, body, lap, floor, chair, but not, and this is the most important thing, not on the mouse mat. So, and the thing is, it wasn't just water, there was like vitamin stuff in it, and now, yeah, sticky legs. So, hopefully that's good luck or something. Now, in other good news, I have agreed with Southampton a deal to extend the loan of Steph Cassels for next season for the club. So at least, hopefully, if he agrees to it, he will be at the club next season, which is good for the club, I feel like. The only weird stipulation, because they agreed to the same terms, and I checked, and it is properly, hopefully, for the full season. I hope. They better not do that shit again. There's no way of knowing, though, because it says end of season, but then when I look at the thingies, it's below things like 8 months, which stands to reason, and there's no option for end of next season, so it has to be for next season, particularly as the loan fee itself, with the fee on top of it, would account for the fact that it's for the whole of next year because of the way the loan fee's calculated. So hopefully that's all good for them. They did demand a £1.3 million bonus if Sassuolo win the Coppa Italia, though, which I don't think is completely out of reasonableness, really. So I think I agree to that. Hopefully he will agree to come back to Sassuolo next year, so they'll at least have him. It's kind of a sad moment. Our last ever league game in charge of Sassuolo, away at Juventus, who do actually find themselves back in second. I think this is going to be a tough one for us, and I think there's a good chance that we could end up losing our final game in charge, but maybe it's the day where they just come up with an absolutely mighty performance and we push ourselves over that 90-goal level. I think we've got 118 in the league, by the way. So, changes to be made. We've got a full week before Real Madrid, so no problems on that one. I wanted to just see if there was any changes that would actually be sensible, but apparently not. So, Lancer into the right-hand side there. Uriarte into the back line there. I'm actually going to start Rivas instead of Gregory for today's game again, because Rivas has started to pull the form back out again. So I think that's basically as strong as we can get currently. In fact, I'm going to put Marco Quarto on the bench as well, because I wouldn't mind giving him a send-off. It's not even our last game in charge. Like, the last game in charge will be the Real Madrid game no matter what. It's just... this feels special for me. As you can see, Steph Cassels under a bid, and even he's improved lately. But sadly, I don't think we're going to find a more difficult match to finish off our league tenure with Sassuolo. Now, obviously, the players don't know that we're off at the end anyway, but we'll keep that one under wraps for now. So, Juventus, Sassuolo, can we finish with a bang and win away at our title rivals? We've beaten them, I think, twice, in fact, this season, both in the league and in the cup, I think, at one point too. So we've definitely got that in our game, finally. It's taken us long enough, but we have finally managed to start getting one over on Juventus. Thankfully, good save from Fran Spicer. I'm really glad that we brought in Franny. Fran Spicer has been excellent this season. There's been the occasional little bit of shakiness, but for the most part, he's been an absolute rock compared to what we were dealing with last season. Slow start to this game so far. Rivas with the corner. Can he find someone? It's a great ball in and over by Uriarte. Uriarte, nice ball for Rivas. Here we go. This is where the Overmars run needs to be made. There it goes. Overmars is in behind. Can he do what he does? No, he can't. Vujovic pulls out a brilliant stop, but that right there, the Rivas to Overmars connection is exactly why Augusto Rivas might well get himself a chance to start in the Champions League final potentially. But really, Overmars had to be finishing that. got to be honest, that is a perfect opportunity for him. Kukos again, and a good save from Speecher. What a lovely ball. Oh, by the way, Siggy picked up a training injury and will miss the rest of the season, which is a real shame. Right, now Overmars needs to make the run. There he goes, around the side. It's a tough one, though. The pass whoop to him wasn't brilliant, and Cassell's ball trickles wide. Whips it through, and Overmars! Great save. Brilliant save. He's offside anyway. So, half-time, I think we've probably been the better of the two sides, actually, really controlling the possession in this game. I was just surprised at how good we've been. This could lead to something. If we start moving the ball a bit quicker... Wow, Lance has completely done the fullback here. Just has to find the right pass, though. This is the problem. Eklu, Mihilchea, loads of bodies in the box. Just needs to find the right one of them. And Granados! Oh, wow, that is a terrible strike. Come on, lads. Don't throw it away from a set piece. There's a bit of a mismatch at the far post, which... Whoa, Troy Gregory. All right, that should be a nice, easy one for... No? Okay. Really poor decision from Believ there. That is shocking. Oh, my goodness me. Peter Baker, 1-0 Juventus. I mean, that's just shocking play. I don't know. There's so many outballs there, and they've chosen that one. Like, he's just looped this in. If anything, Speecher should come for this, but then why is he heading it there? The one place there's a completely open Juventus player, and then Speecher actually makes the save as well. Oh, dear. Yep, that looks like it's going to do it as well. I suppose, in my head, I'm thinking, if we are going to make a catastrophically stupid error, then I'd rather it be here against Juventus in a game that doesn't matter than next week against Real Madrid when it matters more than anything imaginable. So, bright side... Maybe it'll go the other way against Real Madrid or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll pull out a goal here. Who knows? We've still got a bit of time left, actually. Mihilchea. Oh, dear. What the but there we go. Juventus 1 to Swallow 0. Really, that was their only big chance. Disappointing. So much so that the game hasn't even counted the XG on it. I've noticed that happens from time to time, and I think I figured out why. When a ball is put over the line, and it's basically on the line, it seems that the game doesn't really know how to calculate the XG from it, and it just seems to ignore it. Like, it's registered it there, but it doesn't register it on the actual charts. That's the one time I've noticed that happen, a few times, actually. It's always been with a shot that's directly on the line. Weird. Anyway, Juventus... They've beaten us. Disappointment there. And Overmars, again, I'm worried about us, honestly. The form just seems to be slipping from the most important players that need to be in form right now are not. Prediction for the Champions League final. Overmars plays like trash. I bring on Yanderson and he wins it for us. It'd be typical, wouldn't it? Well, there we go. We do still win the league by 11 points in the end. And Overmars does become the top scorer ever in a single season of Serie A. In fact, by 14 goals of Baris Aslan in the end, which is actually kind of mad. Man's got 183 league goals in Serie A in 7 years. That's ridiculous. But Overmars this season has been a cut above the rest. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna do at the end of this season. So, for example, if we lose the Champions League final and we have to leave, I'll be doing an analysis video about Sassuolo just to sort of wrap up the end of the season anyway, even though we'd be leaving, just so you can sort of see some of the stats for the year, because I think that'll be fascinating. And then if we were to win the Champions League final, it would be the end for this segment of the save. However, I still like the idea that I like that you guys were receptive to the idea of us doing Survival Specialist on the same database. I like the idea about doing the national team management with South Korea. The problem is, I think the national team might be broken on this version of the save, because you know how with South Korea, Japan, and I believe Germany, but specifically South Korea and Japan as well, there's certain files that need to be put in at the start of a save to make them work properly, and I don't know if that is actually the case in this save. But also the problem with the national team save is that with the database we're on, the processing time between fixtures would mean that there's no way I'd be able to do daily videos with it, and that for me would not be ideal. But I'd like to do that. It's just a bit of a problem. But I definitely want to do Survival Specialist first. But there's still so many things. This save is not over yet by any means. We could easily lose the Real Madrid game. And I honestly feeling more and more like that that's the case that might happen, which would be gut-wrenching. But it just seems like the players that we need to be in form right now are just losing their form. All the big guys that are very, very important to this forward line. Lanza and Gregory. And Rivas is looking okay. Castells is looking fine. But Overmars doesn't look great at the moment, which even by his standards, that could be a bit of a problem. But what I thought we'd do here as well is take a look at potential options should we lose the Real Madrid game, what the biggest sort of jobs available still in the major leagues are that we could still use as a springboard, essentially. The next biggest job that's available, or not available, that could potentially become available, but that would still have to happen. Benevento, Crotone, these are the sort of jobs that we're looking at there. But obviously I would rather not go straight back to Italy again. Incredibly, I don't think Real Sociedad have actually reached a final. So that would certainly be an interesting one, potentially. Even Real Zaragoza have. Betis, yep. Hilariously, the next biggest job after that is actually Osasuna. Technically, that wouldn't not be allowed. We would technically be able to go back there. There's no rule about going to the same club twice. In France, it's a very obvious one. Lyon. They are still available, incredibly, have yet to reach a final during this save or prior to it, which is actually mad. Although I should probably check the finals of the other competitions first. So Ajax versus Chelsea in the Europa League, and it's Sporting versus Manchester United in the Europa Conference League. Jesus Christ, what a final. In case you're interested as well, Hertha actually did manage to win the Bundesliga, which is pretty sick. Not that they're available anyway. I think the biggest sort of option in Germany is probably Augsburg or Hoffenheim as far as those. And I think as far as the Premier League is concerned, you're looking at someone like Brighton, probably. All these guys have been in European finals. In fact, all the way down, I think all the way down to Chelsea. The next one after Brighton would be actually Palace. So, yeah. So, for me, the way I'm looking at this, and this would require those jobs to even become available. It would be a very interesting job hunt should we lose the next game. Because, for me, the favourite ones out of those would be Lyon or Real Sociedad, would probably be the two biggest jumping off points. But that said, I wouldn't be opposed to taking over one of the slightly more mid-table sides should that happen. Because look what we've been able to do with Sassuolo in a relatively short period of time, if I'm honest. So, I feel like if we can do it once, we'd definitely be able to do it again. So, I think there's still good hopes for us should we lose the next game that we would still be able to go and complete the objective with someone else, but it would still take a hell of a rebuilding job, my friends. But, I mean, maybe the players are just resting themselves, getting themselves ready for the big game tomorrow against Real Madrid, and I will be joining you guys for that. It is going to be mental. Ataturk Olimpiyat Stadyumu over in, I'm guessing in Istanbul, is the venue for our first ever Champions League final of the save against Real Madrid, who, I mean, as far as Champions Leagues goes, actually haven't won one since the very first season of the save. It's been 17 years since Real Madrid won the Champions League. So they are by no means prolific in this competition at the moment, despite being prolific domestically. And also, we've knocked out both Barca and Atletico on this route. Could we take one final Spanish scalp and go all the bloody way? Join us tomorrow to find out for Sassuolo versus Real Madrid, the Champions League final. I'm going to try and find my suit, sweat one out for you lot, and hopefully go and win some silverware for Sassuolo. If you've enjoyed this episode and Overmars netting 37 goals in the league, then drop a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be awesome too. I stream Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, so go follow me as well. And I'll join you guys tomorrow for the Champions League, our final game in charge of Sassuolo. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.